In a viral TikTok video, a woman talks about how she found out her boyfriend had been cheating on her. Instead of confronting him, she drove him to the Mexican border under the guise of going to a theme park and got him deported.
Welcome back to Under Oath.
God. How far should you go to get revenge on a cheating spouse or partner?
Was it a boyfriend? Was it a boyfriend?
Yeah, it was a boyfriend.
And he's a legal alien?
Well, he must have been if he got deported. It's not a deportable offense for a citizen to cheat on their girlfriend. So he must have been here illegally. And she decided, okay, I'm going to fix him.
And you wonder if she just started building that wall the minute she got him booted.
She put the brick in.
She's out there. What are you doing? I'm building the wall.
By yourself?
It's a great wall. It's a big wall. It's going to be a great wall. All right. Now, we can both agree that nothing was done unlawfully.
Well, she kidnapped him.
No, she didn't. She just drove him.
Whoa, hold on. I think I got something.
There's no proof. There's no evidence that she kidnapped him.
She kidnapped him.
She drugged him?
She made him think that they were going someplace else. He didn't know he was being kidnapped, but she was kidnapping him. If I tell a little kid, hey, we're going to go to the circus, hop into my van, and the kid thinks that we're going to the circus, I'm taking him someplace he doesn't want to go.
Not my kid.
He just doesn't know it yet.
Still not my kid.
That's kidnapping.
Still not my kid. It's not kidnapping if it's my kid.
Kidnap.
Oh, so if you take your daughter.
Or adult napping. What do they call it when you take.
You tell your daughter.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? We're going to the movies, and you take her to the hospital. Kidnapping? You take her to the dentist. Kidnapping?
Yes, technically.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Here's
How
why.
is it?
Because I didn't obtain
Are you
her.
the parent?
I am, but hold on. I'm excused from that crime because my child is under 18. It is kidnapping. If I told you we're going to the movies and I dropped you off at the dentist instead, and you didn't want to go to the dentist,
I didn't have you hold. There was no there. You could have got out of it. You didn't have to come with me.
You didn't have any reason to know that we were going someplace that you didn't want to go.
There's no ethical issue with
lying. But I moved you. I moved your body.
Every time a guy takes a girl to a different restaurant, that's kidnapping. You said we were going here. No, we're going to Burger King.
Well, no,
I'm kidnapping you.
It can't be a place where pleasant things and things that you want to happen.
Hey, listen, I ate at Burger King the other day. It wasn't pleasant. And what happened to me 3 hours later was clearly not pleasant.
There are degrees of this, of course. Telling somebody, hey, we're going someplace fun.
I lied to you.
And then I take you to the border to have you deported. That's way different than, hey, we're going to, Ruth Chris, and actually my budget won't let that. How do you feel about a Big Mac? Those are two completely different.
What? Do we have this woman's name?
No, we don't.
Look, can I call her?
It's a viral TikTok, so it's got to be on.
Can I call her Jennifer? Jennifer?
She had to live somewhere close to the Mexican border, though,
You
right?
have won the gold medal for paybacks.
But she did kidnap him.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
She didn't. She did. He voluntarily got in the car.
Under false pretenses.
False pretenses is not a prima facie requirement of kidnapping.
What are you talking about?
Tell me what the prima facie requirements for kidnapping. Huh?
Lack of consent. Movement, lack of consent. You can't say to somebody, hey, we're going to the beach, and then drive them to jail. You can't do that.
Oh, that happens all the time. Policemen do that every time. Hey, you're going to win the lottery. They come and they got a warrant.
Hey, I'm delivering the check from the lottery commission. Come to the door. Okay. Actually, that'd be a good way to serve a warrant, wouldn't it?
Now we're going to talk about vindictiveness.
Vindictiveness is not illegal. And I applaud this lady. I mean, this was creative. Wow. Other than her kidnapping. This was creative. That's a good way to get back at somebody's cheating on you. Oof. You might want to select better men, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, hold on.
What do you mean, hold on?
Wow, that's a good.
You don't think she could get a better guy, a guy who doesn't cheat on her, a guy who's grateful for her company?
Let's talk about levels. I cause a flame war on Facebook. I post their picture. Like we had a guy who used to be a local attorney. We can't mention his name. He was dating this girl, and she caught pictures of him in the strip club, and she posted all over his Facebook a picture of him and the stripper.
She changed it. She changed his profile picture so that anything he had ever posted had this new picture on it.
Hold on.
Also vindictive.
Yes.
Good, creative.
But there's a difference. In a joke. There's a difference in a joke or doing something to embarrass somebody. But to get them kicked out of the country, that's just brutal. That's a brutal thing. You know, could you imagine? Flip it around. I wonder how women would think. See, women are supporting this. I know everyone's
I'm
laughing.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
And the men are finding it hysterical.
Yes, it is. It's kind of funny.
Flip it. It's
Flip
the
it
woman.
in what way?
The woman. Let's say the woman gets caught cheating, and the guy drives her to the border and gets her deported.
Gets her kicked out of Mexico?
Gets her kicked out of the country.
Mexico?
No, let's say she's from Mexico. It's California. They drive to the border.
Oh, she's the different race.
Yes,
okay,
we flip it.
All right, I got you.
We flip it. And the point is that would we be laughing about it?
Yes.
No.
Yes, we would.
No, we would go. There'd be definitely a different flavor to
it. You would say my kidnapping argument is much more credible
because
it's a woman being moved and not a man being moved.
Well, the reason why is because there's force involved. A man could.
You just spent the last segment talking about how there is no force because she was lying to him.
The guy got in the car voluntarily. Let's say this woman in this case weighs like 360 and is a UFC fighter.
We're just making up.
Yeah. You know, then you're going to say, yeah,
he
could dominate her.
And is a UFC fighter?
Yeah, she's
mutually exclusive.
She's amazing. She's an amazing
mutually
fighter.
Exclusive.
She's Japanese. It's part sumo.
A sumo wrestler?
Yes. Female sumo. The fact is this.
From Mexico.
I actually handled a wrestling match the other day, and I was talking to this female wrestler, and I made the joke. I said, how quick could you kick my ass? And she goes, real quick. And a lot of these women are bad asses. But yes, a man could be more dominant than a woman naturally, physically. That's just the way that works. So could she have felt intimidated and had to be in the car because she was worried about being physically abused? That's a possibility, but we don't have those facts. I'm just saying, flip it around and just make it female. And we might feel differently because we go, oh, he went too far.
Hey, honey, I'm taking you to Disneyland. And then instead of taking her to Disneyland, he drives to the border. Yes. Wait a minute.
This is we're going to Disney World, Mexico, but I can't cross over. I can't get back. Don't worry about it.
What theme park is close enough
now,
to...
Now, here's the thing. She got him deported. Did she call? She drove to the border. Is that what they're saying she did? Or she just called the federales?
The Mexican border, under the guise of going to the theme park, and instead of confronting him, she drove him to the Mexican border. Yeah, right. She actually drove to the border. So what theme park is so close to the Mexican border, you don't know
that's what I'm saying.
You're going to the Mexican border instead of the theme park. Yeah. At some point, he had to realize, I am going somewhere I didn't consent to.
Okay. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to play this out because here's where people make their mistakes. They don't look at the basic thing. When you go to the border, normally the U.S. section, you go right through. You don't stop at the U.S. section. You have to stop at, let's say, the Canadian or the Mexican side. You know, and you see those people. So she would have had to drive through the border and then try to come back and get stopped there. She didn't just walk to the border or drive and stop. He's illegal. I think he was sleeping because it said he fell asleep. She drove through the border. And then,
I'm going to fix his ass. She probably had the biggest smile on her face while she's driving through the U.S. side of that border going, this is going to be glorious.
But now, here's the big problem. When you cross over into Mexico, they check IDs. So the only way that worked out was he goes, I don't have IDs. She's mad, everything else. They can't turn around in that no man's area because they can't get back into the U.S. because he has no ID. So maybe in that tiny area, something might happen because you technically do cross over. There's that no man's area. So it could have worked if he was sleeping in the car. But outside of that, now you got to be pretty brave to be stuck in a car with somebody that you just tried to deport.
Oh, what's he going to do? Kill her at the border?
I want you to know right now.
That would sort of dampen his chance.
I know a bunch of women who would whoop my ass in the car if I did that to them. There's some women out there who would beat me senseless in that no man's area between the border. So in the end, is it a terrible joke? I don't think it's a joke. Here's the deal. You know who you're with. You know who you're with. Male or female. And you know how mad they can get. And you know how bad it can get. And if you take that risk, that might be on you.
Yeah, this probably, in my opinion, she probably went a little too far just because she put herself in danger of possibly being accused of kidnapping based on the statute.
Have you ever dated crazy
Texas.
without talking about your current wife? Have you ever dated crazy outside? I won't pick on anybody you're with.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Hasn't everybody dated crazy at some point?
Now, we both know you can pull stuff on nicer people, but when you date crazy, you know what's going to happen if stuff goes bad. You kind of consented to that when you got involved with crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it might be subjective. If you're with,
I don't think I've ever curbed my activity just because whoever I was with was crazy.
I have.
You have?
Yeah. Think about you. How many people are less likely to screw with you because you're big?
Oh, I would imagine a good percentage.
How many times have you been in your dually and there's a tiny car in front of you and you go, well, they ain't gonna do anything.
Well, you talking about cutting me off?
Yes.
No, I rarely get cut off.
Right. Yeah. The same thing applies in a relationship.
Rarely do I get cut off.
I think if a guy knows that he's dating crazy and he takes that risk, you might have earned yourself a trip to the border.
This is sort of assumption of the risk on his part?
Yes.
You knew who you were dating. You knew something like this. It might not have been this exact thing, but you knew something big was going to go down if you got caught. You got caught, pay the price, shut up.
I would nickname, if I had a nickname for her, I would call it Quiet Thunder. You know? That's some crazy stuff. And you know she had crazy eyes. Hey, let's go to Six Flags. Well, you never go to Six Flags before.
Well, yeah, that's why it's great. Yeah. She doesn't know where it is.
Is it too far? Absolutely, it's going too far. Did he put himself in that position?
He should have known it was coming, though.
I have a feeling he knew.